Hello everybody. Today I am here to discuss the most vital part. It can be called as a skill, that is communication. This is the most crucial part in achieving success in any field. Let us at first see what does the term indicate. It is called sampreshan in Marathi. Now the word sampreshan seems to be more difficult than the English one, that is communication. So communication is basically a way or process of transferring our views, ideas and thoughts with the others. So this is the standard definition of communication. Now what are the essential elements of communication? There are four things. There is a speaker, another receiver, then language and medium. Communication needs these four elements called speaker, receiver, language and medium. Then what are the types of communication? It can be classified into four different categories. The first one is verbal communication. The communication which uses verbs and sentences and paragraphs and all, this is called verbal communication. Now whatever I am talking to you, we cannot say interacting with you because interaction needs two-way communication. I am making verbal communication because I am sharing my views and ideas and opinions with you all through the medium of this particular video. There is non-verbal communication, means non-verbal communication is such a communication in which no words are used. Your body language, your facial expression, your gesture, your postures are enough to indicate your message with somebody, to indicate or to share your message with somebody. That means without saying a single words, without using a single word, we can communicate our message with others by making different emotions by our head, by our hands and all these things. Then there is one-way communication. One-way communication means when the speaker speaks and the spectators mutely listen. At that time, that kind of communication falls in the category of one-way communication because the spectators are mute and they are just getting whatever the speaker is saying and they are not responding there at all. Then there is a two-way communication. We can call it interactions. When I talk, you respond, you ask something, when you have a queries and I try to answer them. Such kind of interaction can be called as a two-way communication. Now there is a specific process of communication: identification, encoding, channels, decoding, feedback, and we will not go very much deeper into all these things. Today I will basically focus on basic skills in communication. What are the things that we need to cultivate this kind of communication, to talk differently in different kinds of situations. So what are the medium of communication? You might have seen that various things are communicated to you by making use of electronic media, signboards, newspapers. Earlier radios used to be there. So these are the various mediums through which the messages are communicated to you directly or indirectly. Now we will turn to basic skills in communication. If you want to cultivate communication skills in yourself, then what are the things that need to be focused by us all? There are 6 letters and all of those 6 letters represent something else. L, S, R, W, U, R. Now we will see one by one what those letters represent. L for listening. Now, why listening is very important? How can the listening make you a good communicator? But it is a very significant thing that you should be a good listener to be able to be a good speaker. If you really want to be a good speaker, then definitely you will have to be a good listener. Now the question may arise in your mind that what is difficulty in being a good listener? We are all good listener. Then of course not. You may not be a good listener, because what happens, there are various kind of barriers and distractions while listening. It's been my experience that while teaching in the classroom, I will not say many, but there are some students who remain physically sitting in the classroom, but we really can't guess whether they are paying attention to us or not. That means their mind may not be there inside the class, and it may be wandering somewhere else. And that's why being a good listener is very important in developing our communication skill. And then the next one is yes. Yes for speaking. Whatever you know, you try to speak. Now everybody speaks. There is no point of discussing this, that you must speak. Everybody speaks. But whatever knowledge you acquire in your life, you must have ability and potential to share that particular knowledge with others. That is called speaking. Then reading. Read extensively as much as you can to be a good speaker, because if there is nothing in your head, if there is no storehouse of knowledge in your head, then of course you cannot speak properly. You must need references, you must need knowledge, you must need data, and only then you can share your message properly, and then only you can be a good speaker. Then writing. Try to develop the practice, try to develop the skill of writing. Try to write again and again, and that will make you a good writer. Then understanding. Whatever you listen, you must try to understand, because whatever you get, whatever message you receive from the speaker, it is encoded. You have to decode it. So how to decode it? That must be, incorporated in us, that how to interpret the message of the speaker. And after understanding and decoding the message of the speaker, we must try to respond. Responding is very important. This comes in the type of two-way communication. Whatever you listen, you must try to respond there in order to have more insight about the topic which is being discussed there. Then there are some barriers of communication. Now let us discuss what are the barriers which come in the process of communication. The first one is wandering attention, that is called distraction. That means we are unable to concentrate our mind on a certain thing. Now let me give you one example, that we have a mind. We generally talk about the mind. Actually it's not an organ, it is an abstract thing. You cannot say that here lies the mind. You can say about your brain and all the other organs and parts of your body and their locations, but mind is an abstract concept which cannot be seen, but still it is the most powerful thing in the world. Why it is most powerful? Because you cannot get a complete hold over it. In spite of controlling your mind controls you, and that's why you are unable to stay focused on the thing that you want to focus on. And therefore we need to develop the strategy of concentrating and getting hold of our mind and putting it at a proper use. Then lack of interest. There can be a lack of interest while listening when somebody is speaking. Lack of enthusiasm, the fear of being judged. There are multiple reasons which become barriers in the way of communication. Suppose when you start talking, at that time, in spite of focusing on what you want to talk, you may have fear or inferiority complex in your mind about the people, and you will think that what the other will think about me, how will the people judge me. So these kinds of things will come in your mind, and once they enter your mind, you will start hesitating to communicate your message. Then there is inferiority complex. Inferiority complex is created due to the lack of confidence. Now how confidence is developed? It is not the thing that can be purchased from the shop. You have to develop it, you have to develop it gradually by putting in extra efforts. Putting in extra efforts, I mean you have to develop your confidence by working very hard. Otherwise it is not the thing which can be purchased from the market. And it is well said that the success in life cannot be achieved by the size of your brain, but it is achieved by the size of your confidence. So confidence is very much essential in our life. And not willing to listen to others, this is the common thing. Student can know it very well. Sometime what happens, the student remain in the class, but they may not be interested in the topic which is being taught in the classroom. So why this happens? Because they are unable to get a complete hold over their mind. So they must try to concentrate on the topic whatever is being taught to them. So these are some of the barriers that come in the way of effective communication. Now what are the tips to be a effective communicator? At first you should be confident enough. Then while talking to others, make an eye contact with the person. Now I said that make an eye contact with the person. You have to make an eye contact with the person only at the time of speaking and not anywhere else, because we have to do it differently in different situations. You remember this thing. And while interacting, always smile. Don't laugh. If you laugh, that will spoil your communication. So there should be a smile that will show that you are enthusiastic and energetic person to share your knowledge with the people. And when you are communicating with somebody, you have to make your right body postures and facial expressions. These things are very crucial in learning the skill of communication, which is very crucial for each and everyone. Thank you.